Okay, so Justin's taking care of it. Gotcha.
Welcome to the Ohio Association for College Admissions Counseling Virtual College Fair, and thank you for joining us. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our panelists at any time. Your cameras and microphones are both off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of many different sessions happening, so be sure to sign up for additional sessions. This presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week at strivescan.com/Ohio. With that being said, I'd like to turn it over to our first presenter. Justin, if you could take over, please.
Great, thank you. I appreciate it. So I'm going to just quickly share my screen here. So I appreciate everybody joining us for our Finding Your Fit panel presentation. We have three really great schools and reps from each one of them to kind of share with you some information on each one of our institutions. And it's really a great setup too, because we have three different types of schools. We have Sinclair Community College, which is a two-year public community college, the University of Dayton, which is a four-year private university, and then Wright State University, which is a four-year public. And we're going to share with you just all different types of information on applying to each one of the schools, helpful information that you'll find on trying to figure out which school might be the best fit for you. And so with that, we'll go ahead and introduce ourselves. So my name is Justin. I am an admissions counselor at Sinclair Community College, which is located in downtown Dayton. My main role and responsibility is to kind of be like a point of contact for students to help you throughout the entire application process. Each one of our admission counselors in our office has a specific territory that they're assigned. Most of the students that I recruit are north of Dayton, east out into like Clark County, and then towards the Columbus region. But any of our representatives in our office can help you throughout the entire enrollment process or answering any questions that you have about our school. So I will go ahead and turn it over to Shira.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedules to hang out with us and to learn about finding your best fit. My name is Shira Thomas. I am in the Office of Recruitment and Admission. I'm a recruitment and admission counselor and also an alum of UD2, so definitely can answer a lot of questions of what it's like to be a student on our campus. But all of our staff is able to answer your questions and help you kind of prepare and figure out the next step. So definitely stay tuned for all the information that we have, and I'm so glad you're here.
All right, and my name is Paige Smith, and I work in the undergraduate admissions office here at Wright State University. I am actually the visit coordinator, so if you ever come on a campus visit, you'll get to see me. But on our website, we have a list of all of our admissions counselors. Also, if you do not live within the state of Ohio, which is where all these schools are located, you can reach out to me as well. So, and then if you live in Ohio, on our website is a list of all of our recruiters and the area that they recruit. But of course, I love helping students as well. So you can always feel free to reach out to me at this contact information.
So one of the first things that we will kind of chat about is just like how our campuses are set up and some of those differences. So here at Sinclair, at any given time, we may have upwards of around 30,000 students. So we are actually considered to be one of the larger community colleges in the United States. And we have 5 different campus locations that you can choose from. So we have our main downtown Dayton campus, but then we also have locations in Centerville, Huber Heights, Inglewood, and then even one down in Mason for students that are closer to the Cincinnati area. Some of our programs can be completed entirely at one of our regional locations, and then most of the ones that you'll take would be at our downtown Dayton one. We also have nearly 300 different academic programs that you can choose from, and these range anywhere from certificate programs that you can complete in as little as 8 weeks to 1 semester, all the way up to associate degrees, and then even we even have 2 new bachelor degree programs in unmanned aerial systems and aviation technology. So we really have something for everybody, whether you want to go out into the workforce really soon after graduating from high school, or if you've been out of high school for quite a few years and life got in the way and now you're wanting to come back and get your college education, we have a pretty diverse student population in terms of what your interests are. And then different programs that you can choose from on our campus. We have business and public services, which includes things like marketing, management, any business related programs, real estate. It includes we have a police academy that includes our computer science related programs like cybersecurity. And then we even have hospitality management and culinary. Health sciences, one of our more popular ones within that one is our nursing program, but also things like dental hygiene, veterinary technology. We have a physical therapy assistant program, and then respiratory therapist has also been a really popular one, especially with everything that's been going on with the coronavirus. Liberal arts, communication, and social sciences is things like history, communication, psychology, sociology, and theater. And then science, mathematics, and engineering are going to be programs like HVAC, construction. We have automotive programs here, and then pretty much any engineering program that you can think of that if you want to go on and work or transfer. And then we have a Tesla Start program within that area too for students that are interested in working on electric vehicles.
At the University of Dayton, we have some similar programs. I would say at the university, we are considered a mid-sized university, so we have the best of both worlds. We'll have all the same opportunities that you'll get at a larger school, but also that small town feel where you get to really know each other. With 8,000 students, that's going to give you the best of both worlds. We have 142 majors, so there's 80 undergraduate programs, and oftentimes students would do a double major or a major and a minor or a major and a double minor. So it's very flexible with some of the interests that you have. We also have master's programs. We have a bachelor's plus master's program, in addition to doctoral programs and many different certificate programs as well. So there's lots of different things that you could do as far as your major at the university. What we're kind of known for, or maybe some highlights as far as like which types of divisions of majors. We have the School of Business, the School of Engineering, the School of Education and Health Sciences, and then the College of Arts and Sciences. So literally, we probably have something that you want. I know one popular thing right now is definitely our nursing program. It's fairly newer, but it is an amazing program where students are getting to take classes at the University of Dayton, but also at Sinclair. So they're earning their associate degree along the way. So it's a great opportunity for those students who are interested in pursuing a career in the health field, especially in times like right now. And I'll turn it over to my Wright State University colleague.
All right. And so at Wright State University, we have about 13,000 students. So similar to what Shira was saying, is that we're kind of that mid-sized university. So we do not have as many students as the big state schools do, but we're not as small as some of the private schools are. And we have also have a branch campus. So we have our main campus that's located in Dayton, Ohio. And then we have a branch campus that's located in Salina, Ohio, called our Lake Campus. And so it has some of the same programs as our main campus, just much smaller, where they only have about 1,000 students that go there. So if you're interested in Wright State, you might want to check that out. But we have 140 different undergraduate programs and 6 different academic colleges. So the big fields that you might be interested in. So that's business, education, engineering, and computer science, liberal arts, nursing, and our College of Science and Math. Some highlights within those programs is our nursing program was ranked number 3 in the state, so we're very proud of that. Our business school is one of the top 1% of business schools worldwide through our accreditations. So those are some of our popular programs, our bigger programs, but also we do have master's, graduate master's and doctoral degrees, as well as a medical school and our School of Professional Psychology.
All right, so the next thing that we're going to talk about is just important admission and application and information and how to apply to each one of our schools. So for any students that are wanting to fill out an online application for like our upcoming summer or fall semesters, both of those applications are available now. There's no cost to you at all. When you're filling that out, you don't have to submit any sort of like ACT or SAT score information to us. Specifically at Sinclair, our admission requirements are that you that you've completed either your high school education or you've completed your GED. So that's what we're looking for when a student is enrolling. And then we still encourage you to submit things like your high school transcripts, ACT or SAT scores if you do have those, so we can help you determine which courses to place you into to start. And then to fill out an online application, you'll just go to apply.sinclair.edu. And one important thing to note, if you're familiar with the Common Application, we do not accept the Common Application, so you'll just want to submit that directly through our website. And I will turn it over to Shira.
So at the University of Dayton, we have a free application, so it doesn't cost anything to apply. We are on the Common App. We're on our own UD application as well as the Coalition app. So just choose one application to fill out, and you can start applying as early as this summer for the upcoming fall semester. And we are test optional, which means it's truly up to you on whether or not you choose to submit your test scores. If you feel that they're a great, representation of your academic abilities, then submit them. If you feel that they're not quite where you like them to be, then you don't have to. So it's really up to you to showcase, the best parts, the things that you want us to know. Now, with the application process, that free application, you'll fill out app, of course, but then you'll also complete a essay telling us a little bit more about yourself and your goals, and there's different prompts that you could choose from in that essay. There's also a need to send in the high school transcript so that we can review the trend of your grades and just kind of see what course you've taken and how that will transfer over into your major. You can also submit a counselor recommendation if you want. It's not a requirement, as well as if you have other documentation that you feel that you want us to review. We review the students in a holistic manner. So whatever you send us is what we're going to look at to review you for admission into your major, because we are a direct admit into your major program. But also, we're also going to look to see if you're admissible to the university if you're not directly admitted to your chosen major. So we're definitely reviewing you holistically. Sometimes we may request to have those 7 semester grades just to see how that first half of the year is going and making sure that you're ready for the rigor of work that college oftentimes will bring. So that's our process for the application. Pretty simple and easy and accessible, and it's free. So go ahead and apply to all of us because we're free. And I'll turn it right over to my colleague at Wright State.
Thank you. And like everyone has said, we have the free application as well. And so our application is still open for fall of 2021 and will be open later in the summer for fall of 2022. We also have rolling admissions, so you can apply in between there. And we will also be test optional, so up until at least 2022. And so like Shira said, if you take it and you don't like your scores, you do not have to submit them. If you have never got an opportunity to take them, it's not going to be used in your admissions decision. And our admissions requirement is that you've completed the Ohio core requirements and you have a 2.5 GPA or above. If you have a GPA that's between 2.0 and 2.49, we will require that 7th semester grade just to make sure that you continue to improve your grades through your senior year. So that senior year does, count. So you don't want to make sure you don't slack off your senior year, that you keep pushing hard. And our application is available at wright.edu/apply, as well as we are on the Common App.
All right, so the next slide, also related to application info and important dates and deadlines to keep in mind. As you can see for Sinclair, our dates in terms of submitting our online application are pretty much the same across the board. So when you are wanting to take classes on our campus, you just want to make sure that you've applied and that you register for classes prior to the start of the term. So if you're interested in coming in the summer or the fall, we still encourage you to fill your application out as soon as you possibly can, just because it makes it a lot easier on you to get in the classes that you want, so that you can qualify for scholarships and financial aid a little bit easier. But we do allow students to register for classes and apply all the way up until pretty much the first day of classes. We also have additional like terms built within each semester. So our semesters last about, it's 15 weeks, but we do have 12-week classes that students can take and even 8-week classes. And you can apply and register for classes as long as you're doing so before the start of that first day. So just as long as you are submitting things before those courses are starting. And I will let Shira go next.
So the University of Dayton, our priority deadline is November 1st. It's non-binding. It just means if you apply by November, then you're going to find out in December about your admission status. So as a rule of thumb, I always tell students apply to every school before November 1, just because when Thanksgiving comes, you'll truly be thankful. All of your college stuff is done. You've submitted it. You're just relaxing and enjoying time with friends and family. So try to get everything done before November 1st if you can. If not, our regular admission date is February 1st, but we are still accepting applications, for students, especially with everything that's going on right now. So you can still apply to all of our colleges as well. So November 1st, early action, just get it done so you don't have to worry about it. Otherwise, you technically have until February 1st. And then decisions are made. If you apply by November, you're finding out mid-November. If you apply by February, you're going to find out mid-February about your admission status, and then so on and so forth. So whenever you apply, give it a little bit of time, then you'll find out about your status. You'll also get your merit scholarship shortly after that, and then the complete 4-year financial aid package at the University of Dayton. So our preferred confirmation date of when you decide on which school is going to be your home away from home for the next 4 years would be May 1st. If you need more time than that, we definitely can, be accommodating and make sure that you can have the time you need to make the best decision for yourself. But again, trying to stay along the lines of May 1 is really helpful. So then that way we get housing and all the other things going for you as well. And I'll turn it over to Wright State.
And so our priority deadline is also November 1st. And so very similar. What that means is if you apply before November 1st, you'll get your admissions decision by November 15th. And so we're processing all of those priority applications. That gives you priority access to, our scholarship application, our orientation signups, and it just puts you in a better position. And like Shira said, you can go into Thanksgiving knowing where you stand with some colleges. So, but Wright State also has rolling admissions. So if you are a non-traditional student or an adult student and want to apply for any semester, you just have to apply before the week before classes. And so we also have so our priority deadline is November 1st. We also have a recommended deadline. If you missed that first one, no worries, of April 1st. And so if you apply before April 1st, you'll still qualify for all of our scholarships, which I know we'll talk about in a little bit. And then we do have a preferred confirmation date of May 1st. That's going online and completing your statement of intent. And very similarly, if you do not make it before that May 1st, we have lots of flexibility to, continue to help you make those decisions into May, even June, if you're still making those decisions.
All right, and then the next slide is tuition, costs, and fees. So obviously this is a big and important one for every student. So here at Sinclair, we determine our costs based on how many credits you're typically taking and then where you're living as well. So if you are a student that is residing in Montgomery County, which is where our downtown Dayton campus is located, per year, you're going to average around $3,780. If you are outside of Montgomery County in another county in Ohio, you're going to be paying around $5,000. So it just kind of depends where you currently live. An estimate on books and fees is around $1,100. And again, that's just an estimate because it can depend on how many classes you're taking, the type of courses that you're taking, and the textbooks that may be required for that. And then there are usually other fees that you want to check into as well on each one of our websites. So sometimes there might be like an activity fee. We have different like course fees depending on what program that you're going into. One thing that I always love to mention to students, we don't have any parking fees, which is nice. I love that as a staff member because when I'm on campus, I can park in a parking garage for free. So that's one nice thing to keep in mind. And then we do not offer a tuition guarantee program, which just means if you do, then your tuition can be locked in at a certain rate from year to year. So our tuition doesn't really fluctuate too much, but it does not lock in when you first apply. And I will let Shira go next.
So at the University of Dayton, our yearly tuition is $44,890 for an academic year. And each year it'll change. So you definitely want to stay on top of that by checking out our website to see what the 21, 22, and so on and so forth years will look like. But what our current students are paying just for tuition is that amount. And then you would add on housing and food costs if you're choosing to live on campus. You could choose to be a commuter student where you're just paying for tuition and not for housing and food. So that's totally up to you. Whichever way you want to go, definitely want to make sure you mention that on the application. As far as books and fees and supplies, we don't have any fees for anything. The only thing that we have a charge for would be if you need to get, a parking pass, but that's only for upper class students. So like freshmen, sorry, you're not going to be able to do that right now, but you don't need to. You want to stay on campus so you can really get to know each other and get to know your classmates and your roommates. And if you're going away from campus all the time, you're missing the point of being there and building that sense of community. So you'll have plenty of time to drive later on. And there's plenty of upperclassmen who do, so they'll take you where you need to go. And we have our own RTA. We have a partnership with RTA where we have a bus that will take you to places downtown and in the surrounding areas too, so you'll be okay. But we also have a $4,000 textbook scholarship that we give to our students, and it's really easy to get it. All you need to do is complete a campus visit or demonstrate some interest in the University of Dayton. We love the campus visit experience just because it's a great way to see your future home right now and really walk amongst your peers and just really, see, is this my community? Are these my people? Am I going to grow here, right? This is a good fit. So please make sure you go visit each of the 3 universities here today. It's really important that you do that. But then also make sure that you file your FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid. You should do that for every school and any school that you're looking to go to, because that is one piece of your financial aid package that's really helpful and beneficial to you. So by filing your FAFSA and by visiting campus, we're going to give you money to cover your books. It's a $4,000 textbook scholarship. Essentially, it's $1,000 each year towards the cost of your books, which means when we split it up per semester, it's $500 per semester. So it's really helpful with taking care of that cost. If you do have to come out of pocket for any reason, it will be minimal, I think. As far as the tuition guarantee, that's one really cool thing about the University of Dayton. We've been a leader in that, where we have locked our students in to their net tuition for the next 4 years. So that $44,890 that you see, that's the sticker price. Once you take out all of the scholarships and grants that you're going to receive for that year, we lock you into the net tuition amount each year after that for that amount, which is awesome because up front what the total cost is going to look like for tuition. And then we add on housing and food, and we show you what we anticipate your total cost to be for the first year, but also the next 4 years. So it's really helpful when you're creating those budgets and really finding the best financial fit for you. And I'll turn it over to Wright State.
So our tuition at Wright State is about $9,900 for the year, and that is without any housing costs. So we are completely housing optional. We don't have any requirements. So you can live on or off campus. And so that would be an additional $10,000 a year if you're thinking about living on campus. And then we make an estimate for about $1,400, and that's based on student estimates of the past for books and supplies. Of course, it can most of the time cost less than that, depending on what classes you're taking and how much the textbooks cost. But our bookstore actually has taken on a lot of different price or scholarship help with students, whether it be fair buybacks, so you can sell your book back at the end of the semester for a fair rate, or they will price match with Amazon. So again, there's lots of ways to save on that. And we do have our Wright tuition guarantee that locks your tuition and room and board rates in for all 4 years. So whatever that cost is that you come your freshman year with, you know that that's generally what it's going to cost for the rest of your 4 years. And then we can add housing costs to that as well.
All right, so for our next slide, obviously we know that tuition can sometimes be expensive for students, but all three of our institutions make sure that students can qualify for financial aid and scholarships to help you cut down on that cost. So the first thing that you want to check out is the free application for federal student aid. So this date is the same for every single school across the country. It comes out on October 1st. It's a set date by the federal government, October 1st. You want to make sure that you take a picture of that, write it down, because every single year you'll want to submit the FAFSA, and you'll have access to that beginning on that date. And then depending on the school, there are different priority deadlines. So ours is March 1st, but students can still submit the FAFSA at any time after that, and you can still receive financial aid. So that can help you qualify for grants that you may not, that you don't have to pay back to the college, or loans if you need additional funds to help pay for tuition. And then we also have different scholarship opportunities that students get access to as well. So we have our high school merit scholarship application, which has a deadline. It was just extended this year. So if you're coming from high school, want to attend this fall, we have a application deadline of that for March 31st. You just want to apply to Sinclair, be admitted so you gain access to that application, and then submit it by that date. We do have additional scholarship opportunities that students can qualify for if you participate in either our College Credit Plus program or our Tech Prep program. And then we also have institutional scholarships as well, ones that are available every single semester. So if for some reason you don't get one your first semester attending the college, or if you're not even a high school student and you just want to see what you can get access to in terms of additional funds, we have semester by semester scholarship applications that you can submit as well. And Shira is up next.
So again, October 1st is national, like it's available when the FAFSA is available on that date. So since a lot of us have fairly, similar priority application dates in November, if you could, it'll save some stress for you later on. I would say when you apply to your universities, also apply for the FAFSA. So just as a rule of thumb, before November, file your FAFSA, fill out your applications, and get everything done. So then that way, when the holidays come around, you're able to really enjoy, just kind of sit back and start to make those decisions and have those discussions with your family. So it just saves you a little bit of stress, and it gives you an opportunity to really enjoy your senior year a bit more. So try to get things done earlier if possible. So February 1st is our FAFSA priority deadline. We would love for you to have it in before that time. That's also our regular application deadline too, is February 1. So we want all the information before then if we can. So then that way, when we send out your financial aid package, since our financial aid package is so comprehensive and it encompasses the next 4 years, it's best to have everything in as quickly as you can so that we can really get you those numbers and you can really sit down with your family and make that decision. Some scholarship opportunities. One great thing about our application for admission at UD, the application is also the same application for scholarships. So we don't have a separate application for scholarships. It's when you apply to the University of Dayton, you're also applying for scholarships, which is really, really nice. Some of those scholarships include academics. They include federal or state need-based aid from the FAFSA. You have university aid and scholarships. And then there's also external scholarships. And those are scholarships that you are actually applying for that are outside of any university. So I would start with your school counselor. They should probably have a list of different scholarships that other students have applied for in previous years. But start there with looking for those extra dollars to help fill in the gap at whichever school that you choose to call home for the next 4 years. Again, the scholarship deadline is February 1st, but I would try to get everything in. My rule, or my personal rule, November 1, get it done, all of it, and it'll save you some time and help you to enjoy your senior year. And over to Wright State.
All right, and very similarly, our FAFSA becomes available October 1st. We'll say it over and over and over again. You'll hear every college say it over and over again because the FAFSA is just hyper important to help you when it comes to college costs, which is the biggest barrier for college students in 2021. And so our FAFSA priority deadline and scholarship deadline has been extended to April 1st. And I believe that we are going to keep that April 1st deadline for future years. So again, our application priority deadline is November 1st. And so if you get that, then you have priority access to our scholarship application. So we have two different styles of scholarships, some that are automatically awarded to you, and then some that you can apply for. So our academic performance and need-based scholarships are automatically awarded to you when you apply to Wright State. And if you have qualifying GPA or financial need, that we will not know unless you fill out the FAFSA. So that's why it's also hyper important. And then we have our competitive scholarships that you can apply for. And that deadline each year is usually February 1st. But again, you get priority access when you apply in November. So I also agree with what Shira says of get it all done before the holidays and you'll be good to go. And then we also have different competitive scholarships that are academic based, extracurricular based. Honors scholarships are considered competitive. And then we also have additional housing scholarships. And so that's also based on your need and how close you live to campus. So you just, again, make sure you fill out that FAFSA.
All right, perfect segue to the next slide, which is housing and options to live on each one of our campuses. So here at Sinclair, we have a pretty large population of students that are close to the downtown area, so we do not have any sort of on-campus housing or apartment options for our students. We do have a couple of things that I do want to mention though. If you decide that you for sure want to attend Sinclair, but you still want to get that like dorm room experience of living on a college campus, we do have a great partnership program with Wright State University called the Right Path program, where you can live on their campus, still take classes at Sinclair. We're about 15-20 minutes away from their campus. And if you don't live in the Dayton area, but you're thinking you want to move close to downtown to take classes at Sinclair, I love the downtown Dayton area. I lived downtown for about 5 years. There are a lot of great affordable housing and apartment options close by. There's always tons of free events and festivals that are happening, great restaurants. There's a really great metro park downtown. So a lot of cool places to explore, even though we may not offer that for students on our campus, still places close by that are safe and fun places to live as well. And I will turn it over to UD.
I agree with Justin. There's so many great options as far as living downtown if you wanted to. And so many things to do as well. There's even some new coffee places down there and lots of food options. So if you have not been down there lately, you've got to go and check it out. But at the University of Dayton, we have dorms, we have suites, we have apartments and houses. About 85% of our students live on campus all 4 years. So it really helps to build that sense of community, that sense of belonging. And it's just beautiful campus. So I encourage you to come visit. Make sure you visit each of our universities because again, it does help you to see, is it the right fit for you? Does it meet all of your, what I call non-negotiables, the things that are the most important to you when you're searching for your new home? So we definitely have housing for all of our students should they need it. And then again, because if you are a local student, you could be a commuter and would not need housing. So that is an option for those students as well. In order to be a commuter student, you have to be within 40-mile radius. But usually the first 2 years, students are living on campus, and then juniors and seniors could choose to live off campus if they wanted. But again, our housing is beautiful. Those houses down at the far, I think it'd be the right side of the video right here. That's part of the houses that we have on campus. And then one of our largest dorms is kind of in the middle, which is amazing. Plenty of great food options on campus as well. It's like you'll never go hungry, whether that's on on our campus or on Brown Street, which is the main street that's right in front of campus. Plenty of food options there as well. You'll see our housing and our meal plan costs right there as well. And that's for the first year. Each year is slightly different just because you move from a dorm all the way up to one of the houses. When you are a junior and a senior, you're not required to have a meal plan because you live in the apartments or the houses. And the idea is that you have a kitchen and you can cook. So that's a huge savings right there. So even if you feel like you can't cook, everybody can cook, especially with YouTube, you can cook. And I'll turn it over to Wright State.
All right, and so we have kind of somewhere in the middle between the two. So we have housing available, but it is just recommended only. We do not have any housing requirements. So we have 3 different dorm options for first year students, as well as 4 different apartment options for upperclassmen students. And you can see here a little over half of our students do decide to live on campus. And I would say even higher percent live within a 5-mile radius of our campus. So while we're not downtown, very jealous of that, like the other 2 folks that are on here, I also love downtown Dayton. Like Justin mentioned with the Wright Pass, is that we're only about 10-15 minutes away from that area. But we are located right next to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, which does provide a lot of additional apartment options that are a walking distance to campus. I live in one of those options right now, so I'm able to walk to work every day. So there's lots of housing options on and nearby our campus. And you can see the cost is about $10,500 for the year, and that is for a standard dorm with the meal plan. If you live in the apartments, the meal plan is not mandatory, but available if you like our different on-campus dining options. We have Pizza Hut and Denny's and all that good stuff, so you might find that that is easier, but I do recommend cooking too, because we have a Meijer that is in walking distance from our campus, so really easy to go grocery shopping as well.
All right. So the next one is our virtual campus visit opportunities. So right now at Sinclair, we have quite a few different options that you can choose from. We're currently doing informational sessions that you can sign up for online, transfer 101s with a lot of local and statewide colleges and universities, even ones outside of Ohio, depending on where you're interested in transferring to if you want to start at Sinclair. We also do virtual one-on-one appointments. We have a virtual campus tour that's available on our website. Secure Your Future is more like detailed information about each one of our academic areas on campus. And then we will be having an admitted student and like registration days coming up a little bit later in the spring and towards the summer so that we can help students get enrolled. You can schedule any one of those visits online on our website, sinclair.edu/visit. And then also crossing our fingers, we're hoping to offer in-person visits soon, hopefully in the month of April. But once we do, we'll post that information to our website. And UD's up next.
Yes, we do have virtual options for our students right now. Of course, we have the admission presentations and learning more about like a campus tour. There are one-on-one admission and financial aid virtual appointments, so you can schedule that Monday through Friday with one of the counselors like myself, where we can kind of go over your specific needs. We also have academic appointments where you could set up something with the specific major that you're interested in and just kind of learn the ins and outs, what our students are currently doing, what are they doing when they graduate, those outcomes. So that's a great way to just know a bit more about your major as well. We have the multicultural appointments too. So if you identify as a multicultural student, please make sure you set up an appointment so that we can, talk to you and tell you about all the great resources and opportunities that we have on our campus. We also have some admitted student visit days. Those are in person right now for our students. And we do have some visits as well for our admitted students at the moment. We had some for juniors. We kind of put a little bit of a pause on that just for the moment so that the seniors who have not had a chance to really get to campus and see it before they make those final decisions, we're giving them that opportunity to do that. But I believe hopefully as we get more into April, we'll be able to offer some more on-campus opportunities for juniors with the admission presentation and a campus tour. So stay tuned. We definitely have those available for you. And then there's more events to come throughout the summer as well. You can visit us at udayton.edu/visit. And it's a great way just to stay on top of things, stay in contact. We'd love to welcome you to campus here soon.
All right, and then for Wright State, we are doing a mix of different virtual and in-person. Most of our campus tours are in person right now. So we do have a calendar on our website that you can book an available time. If you see a date that you would really like to come, you can email me and we can try to, get a one-on-one appointment for you. We're pretty flexible that way. But we do have a virtual campus tour that happens weekly on Tuesday nights or by one-on-one appointment with your admissions counselor. And then we will be having different on-campus academic tours. So if you want to do a tour specifically to the major you're interested in, you'll be able to sign up for that on our website. We actually put the dates on there today. So if you want premium access, you can go over to wright.edu/visit right after this meeting. And then we do plan on having some open houses over the summer. And then we have our Inclusive Excellence Series, which is a virtual series that's targeted towards underrepresented students and learning about how your experience will be at Wright State. So if that interests you, you can check that out. Again, all on wright.edu/visit.
Awesome. All right. So it looks like we have about 4 minutes left. So we'll kind of hurry up and get through this last slide here. If you do have any questions, go ahead and put those in the Q&A box. Drop those in there now if you can, and then we can get to those as soon as the presentation wraps up. So the last thing that we want to talk about are pathway programs. So if you know that you want to start at Sinclair to get your associate degree and then transfer to a 4-year school to get your bachelor's, we have some great pathway options and partnerships with schools across the state of Ohio that allow you to start at our school and make sure that your credits will transfer. 2 really popular ones are, of course, with the University of Dayton and Wright State University, which is why we're doing this panel together. Because it allows you to get access to some resources to their campuses, but then also just have those important conversations with their academic advisors to make sure that you're staying on track so you're not falling behind in your classes once you do decide to leave Sinclair to go to one of those campuses. You can see that contact information for our rep on our campus, Kimberly Collins. Definitely encourage you to check out that website, the partnership website, to where you can view all those programs, the resources you get access to, and then any upcoming Transfer 101 events. And then I'll hurry up and give it over to Shira.
I'll make it very quick. Yes, we have a partnership with Sinclair Community College. I actually am a graduate of Sinclair and of UD. I did this before it actually became a thing, but it is a great program to be in. If you think that you're wanting to go beyond Sinclair and get a bachelor's at a specific university, make sure that you get into these pathway programs, whether it's Wright State or ourselves, UD or any other school, because in that way, your courses are going to transfer. You're already building that connection with that school. You can take advantage of the resources that they have. So when you're in the UD Sinclair Academy, you're a Sinclair student the first 2 years, but you can come over to UD and utilize all of our resources. We have events, we have an academic advisor, you can eat on campus, you can join organizations. You're locking in your tuition rate with UD, even though you're not coming to us until 2 years later. So there's so many good benefits that you have with your credits as well as with how you're saving money. And I'll turn it over to Wright State.
And I will go quick as well. Very similar. You can sign up, as early as your first semester at Sinclair to be part of the Right Path program. We do have that option of staying on our campus if you are in that program. And you can do your 2 years at Sinclair and come over to Wright State. We also have these pathway programs with other community colleges in the state of Ohio. So I just encourage you to go to our wright.edu/rightpath and explore all of that.
All right, and then this is our final slide here. About 1 minute left. I know we ran up right until the time there, but if you want to hurry up, jot this information down. You can take a picture of our contact information. Feel free to reach out to any one of us, and we can help you out with anything that you need. One thing I think that all of us will always mention is that all three of our schools are great options to choose from. And really our main goal in our positions is just to really help you find what college is right for you. And if you come to me and I realize that we may not have a program, or I think Wright State is or University of Dayton is a better option for you, I will mention that. Both of these individuals are great to work with, and any option that you choose is a good one as well. And Shira or Paige, if they have any other things to add.
I agree. I mean, I guess the takeaways would be apply now, apply early. Applications are free, test optional, it's totally up to you. Fill out your FAFSA. Timelines are important, so start putting it in your calendar and ask for help. If you need something, we are here to be of service to you, all three of us. So just reach out to us. We'll get you connected, whether it's with us or with one of our colleagues. So we're here to help you be successful, and so glad that you showed up today. Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thank you. And my last plug is visit, because you don't know what's your best fit unless you visit campus. And since we're all having different options, definitely do that. But thank you.
Thanks a lot, everybody.
No questions. Okay.
Perfect. Well, thank you all for joining us today. After you close this window, there's going to be a quick 4-question survey. If you could fill it out just to give us some feedback, it would be greatly appreciated. We have additional sessions coming up, so make sure to sign up for more. And if you want to view this recording in the future, just feel free to visit strivescan.com/Ohio. Thank you, everyone, and have a great day.
Thanks. See you guys.
Thank you.
Great job, folks. You have a good one.
Thanks, you too. Bye.